many of them. We have Jericho, we have Bahati, we have national government is doing some in Makongeni, in all those areas. We can be able to present that so that you can see holistically. But I want to assure you, we're not just sitting, doing nothing, waiting for houses to come up, Chair. Please have that assurance.
No problem, Governor. Please. Can I give you 3 minutes? Can I do it in 3 minutes?
Yes, I'll be very.
Okay.
I'll be very quick. We have several projects in Nairobi in what we classify as phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. Phase 1, you're all familiar with it. It's Pangani and Jivanji, which are under construction. Phase 2, we have Woodley, Lot 1, Kariobangi North, Bahati Lot 3, Maringo Lot 2, Jericho Lot 1, Jericho Lot 2, and Ziwani Estates. Of this, in phase 2, only Woodley is under construction. The rest are currently in the joint venture stage, where we are imminently about to sign with the partners that we have secured. Then we have another phase, which is what we are calling phase 3, which we will be advertising. Phase 3 comprises what we advertised in phase 2, which didn't get a developer, and now the new lots that we'll be putting out. These are Bahati Lot 1 and 2. Again, we might drop, based on our negotiations with the national government, we might drop Bahati and release it to the national government. We have Maringo Lot 1, Jericho Lot 3, Lumumba Lot 1 and 2, Bondeni, Embakasi, Woodley Lot 2, Woodley Lot 3 and 4, Maringo Lot 3 and 4, Lumumba Lot 3 and 4. So those we will soon advertise to secure developers. That is the summary of where we are in terms of status.
Very well. Honorable Senators, I wanted to seek your, congruence whether we can be able now to have open this to the representative of the estates, just to hear from them what their reaction will be.
Just before you do,
yes,
I don't think the CEC had followed the guidance that the chair gave. Okay. That there are 5 estates present in this meeting today. What you need to do, don't tell us about the other lots. Just those estates that are in this meeting today, what is the status? So maybe you can the chair had guided Lumumba are here, Woodley are here, Maringo are here, New Pumwani are here, although New Pumwani was a different issue. And the other one, the clerk can guide. Just maybe just give a breakdown of the status in those that are present here.
Okay, thank you, Chair. My apologies for maybe missing that direction. For Lumumba, we did not secure a developer when we advertised, so we will be advertising Lumumba, Lot 1 and 2. Jericho, Lot 3, we will be advertising, but currently we have prepared the joint venture agreement for Jericho, Lot 1 and Lot 2. I hope that's clear. New Pumwani, I think that's something else. It's not part of the mapped estates. Woodley, we have Woodley Lot 1 is ongoing. The developer is on site. I believe currently setting out to begin construction. Then Woodley Lot 2, 3 and 4 will be advertised. Maringo, Lot 3 and 4 will be, Maringo Lot 1, Maringo Lot 3 and 4 will be advertised, while Maringo Lot 2 already has a developer with whom we are signing a joint venture. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you so much. Senator, is that in order? Senator Sifuna?
Yeah, Chair. There's a breakdown of the phases. We have pre-construction, construction, and post-construction activities. Now, when you say you are advertising, is it safe for us to assume that you are done with all the preliminaries, including the engagements with your tenants?
Yes.
Please go ahead.
You are done with the tenants. All public participation has been concluded in Lumumba and everywhere. That's what you're saying.
In terms of the intention to develop, all right, that one we have concluded. What is not concluded is the conversations around the inconveniences, what the chair has been calling the dignity of tenancy and how we are compensating these tenants. Those conversations are pending, as they are for most of the residents who are here. We are yet to, lock down. Are we going to give you a 2-bedroom? Are we going to give you a 1-bedroom? How long is the, eviction notice? How many months do we compensate you to be out of sight before you come back? So those nitty-gritty conversations have not yet been concluded with all of those estates.
Now, wouldn't you agree with me, Chair, that pending conclusion of that conversations, you're poisoning the atmosphere? I think there was an undertaking by the governor the last time you were here, Your Excellency, that nothing would happen prior to conclusion of those. I don't know why you're calling them inconveniences, because these are that choice of word is a bit odd, Madam CEC, because these are serious concerns that are being raised by your tenants.
No,
and,
she's saying the tenants' inconveniences.
Correct.
Tenants being inconvenienced.
That's what I'm saying. I doubt you will classify the concerns in Jericho or Lumumba as inconveniences. These are major concerns. And Governor, we had advanced this conversation where you had gotten to a point where I think you had undertaken in uncertain terms that there would be no agreement signed without these so-called inconveniences having been cleared. But maybe, Chair, with your guidance, we can hear from the residents about these inconveniences. And then,
before even that, the update I would love, because I want Governor, this committee is very keen on closures. Some of them will be long-term closures, some will be medium-term closures, but some are certainly short-term closures. And those closures, what I was expecting in that particular brief, I think it's one of the most important briefs that we have had in the entire conversation. What I was expecting is, with Lumumba, this is the timeline we have to conclude on those concerns. These are the ones we have concluded. In the next 2 months, 1 week, 3 weeks, we are concluding on that conversation for once and for all. We are proceeding this way. And Governor, I talk also as a political leader, in the sense that I know that a governor's term is 5 years. And the last 1 or 2 years, there is a lot of political activities going on. So we don't want a situation whereby this thing becomes so an open-ended conversation that we haven't concluded. On this, we may conclude on it, we will conclude on it. This will be a good point to open up to the residents also. But I'm going to give you just 2 minutes. If you have got that brief, what you have said that is pending, how long is this going to be pending in your view with regards to each and every of those estates?
Chair, you're giving a direction, but just allow us to also try and help if we can. The governor has had his time. He has laid out his case. He has said what he had to say about the estates that he had to speak about. The residents are here. Why can't we just hear from them?
Yeah, and that's what I've said, that whatever the update she has given that Senator Sifuna has followed up on is a very, very serious update, that we need to have a concrete answer to it. If there is none, it's also fine, because you've got the residents here. But I'm just saying, for 2 minutes, do you have a time-bound update with regards to those agreements?
Chair, where we have a developer, for instance, Woodley, we did conclude immediately on the MOU. The MOU is a fairly standard document which is applicable across the estates. So the minute a developer is secured, for instance, we have done the documentation, we have signed the JVs, we have signed the form of contract, and all those statutory processes are concluded, and developer is properly onboarded. Remember, it is the developer who compensates, all right? The resources to compensate the tenants for the time they will be out of the site comes from the developer. So until the developer is properly onboarded, you cannot necessarily engage with the tenants, because even the conversations around how much money are you paying them requires the developer to be on board, so that then it's sort of like an agreement. We'll pay you 15,000, for 1 year or for how long. So a lot of these conversations will move faster once we conclude with the joint venture agreements. Where we have concluded the joint venture agreements, Reed, Woodley, and Kariobangi North, those conversations with tenants have been concluded. The MOUs are just pending signature. Woodley be finished, Kariobangi North, we're just about to do it. So as soon as we are done with these other 5 joint ventures, then we should be able to lock the MOUs with the residents. So that's the sequence of events, and which is why we have not yet fully concluded with the tenants, because the JVs are still ongoing.
Okay, I think this will be a good point to now transition to the residents. And I think the neater way to do it, if you would allow me, our guest for today, I would go estate by estate, and I will first of all just request the chairpersons from the estates to, make a submission or respond to what the governor has said, and then time allowing, I'll then go another round whereby I'll allow the estates to actually perhaps have maybe a secretary or a member who, depending on how you are organized, I'll be fine opening it up to any of the residents members. But let's start with the chairpersons of the estate, and I will start with the Ofafa Jericho. If the chairperson or the person representing the chairperson is here, then I will give you this opportunity to perhaps, let me just see in terms of time. I think 5 minutes is fair, isn't it? I'll give you up to 5 minutes. If you want to share that 5 minutes with a secretary or a treasurer or a member, you're free. This meeting is free, but we'll start with Ofafa Jericho. And remember to reintroduce yourself for the benefit of the governor and his team before you do a submission or a response or a query that you want the Senate to be vigilant on this development.
Thank you. My name again is John Mugoda, Chairman of Ofafa Jericho Residents Association. Excuse me, Chair. May I make an honest request?
Sure.
5 minutes may be too short for us to present. And if we are to start presenting, I would request that Maringo, the way we had arranged it, start presenting, we follow, then Lumumba comes through. If you don't mind, if you can give us at least 10 minutes.
Senators?
That's fine, Chair. I think it would be only fair, given that we on our part have exhausted the better part of an hour and a half.
Yes. Which
hour belongs to the governor. The senators have only taken half.
Okay, I'll give you 10 minutes, but then that would mean that just see how you spread it. So you are requesting that I start with Maringo?
Yes, Chair.
Okay, please, Maringo, the chair is Peter, right? Yes, Peter, please go ahead.
Sorry, the chair is Shauri Njoroge. There are 2 Njoroges. There is Peter Njoroge and Shauri Njoroge.
Yes, Njoroge. Yes. Because Peter was there for the representatives, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Chair. And thank you, our able senator and the Senate committee for inviting His Excellency, the governor. We have never met him since we elected him. Anyway, let's start. To be sincere, Maringo Estate. Yeah. To be sincere, our engagement with the NCCG has been so horrible. First of all, we came at the bottom of the chart when they were finalizing issues. And when we asked them who did the public participation, they never did it in Maringo, and nobody in Maringo was involved. So they were doing is chiefs and estates officers, not engaging the residents of Maringo. When it comes to public engagement, when it comes to awareness, nothing was done. Here we see there were 6 clusters, nothing that was done. When it came to mapping, when they were doing mapping, that's when some road constructions were going on. So they were doing it clandestinely, hiding. And we even asked them, what are you doing? They told us that we are trying to mark the roads. We come here telling you that these people don't come up openly. They come up hiding. Another thing is that recently we engaged the county assembly committee, and several issues came out about public participation. We came to notice that they are even doing public participation in WhatsApp selectively in an area where they call it Lot 2. We have 310 houses. They only engaged 74 households, leaving out the rest. And when the acting director of housing was asked to clarify, he said that it's true, that they are doing public participation in WhatsApp, but selectively. It's in the hazards. Another thing is that we came to notice that these projects is not following the constitution, even the county acts. Okay, let me leave it to the secretary, kindly.
Good afternoon, Senate Chair. My name's Onyango Gutu, the Secretary of Maringo Estate Residents Associations. I wanted to be on record that we appeared before the County Committee on Lands, Planning and Housing on the 26th of March 2025. What emerged from that meeting last month, what emerged from that meeting was clear that this project has not been approved by the County Assembly. We referred them to Section 114 of the County Government Act, which subsection 2, which says that a project of this magnitude must be subjected first to public hearing. It is mandatory that it has to be subjected to public hearing, which has not been done. The same, it has not been, there is no validation report that has been submitted to that committee to present to the County Assembly for approval. So, as we speak now, this project has not been approved by the County Assembly. Number 2, Section 115 entails that laws and guidelines for such a project have to be emanated from the County Assembly. In this case, there is none. So in our view, or what we fail to understand is why somebody should be so desperate as to try to implement a project which has not been approved, knowing that it is an illegality. When we talked of public participation, sorry, let me just say one thing. The acting director of housing told the meeting that only 7 MCAs they went with to Naivasha are the ones who approved the project, contrary to provisions of Section 114 of the County Government Act. When we come to public participation or public engagement, we had about 6 of them, but on all occasions, they were coming to tell us what they are intending to do or what they have passed, not putting into consideration our inputs, which they were conducting the public participations contrary even to the provisions of their own guidelines. I think we gave out files and we have put all the documents that will prove that they were not even following their own guidelines.
Just a moment, clerk, did you receive any documents from just the same way we do with the governor? If there are documents that were received, I know we might not have enough copies. If there are not enough copies, I want you to share with the senators because they're seated there, just so that when there's reference made, senators, you can have the benefit of integrating the document. And also I'll just be keen that
Chair, we presented enough documents.
Yes.
We presented enough files.
Okay. So don't worry, the clerk will supply the senators with the files. Go ahead.
On matters of ownership, house ownership, we wrote to the governor a letter dated 6th of March 2024. The governor has never had courtesy even to respond to that letter. From March 2023 up to this moment and time. We wrote him a reminder in October last year. The same, he has not responded to the same. In our letters, we attached sessional paper number 5 of 1958/59, and I'll refer you to page 23 of the same document. Though it is faint, it is somehow highlighted. It talks on how Maringo was constructed. This was constructed with an agreement between the Central Housing Board and the contractor. And they only handed the houses to the city council, the then city council, as trustees to collect rents on their behalf, on behalf of the Central Bank, which is now referred to as the National Housing Corporation. The sessional paper illustrates how the money was supposed to be used. It included all even claims. We wonder what claims the city council or the county government is claiming on the estate. We also have sessional paper number 4 of 1959 at page 39. It gives the redemption period of the loan, which is put at 25 years. It is very clear that that loan was supposed to be redeemed within 25 years. But the city council have continued collecting rent. They have refused to reply to our documents. In fact, even in our last sitting, the acting director said that they own the houses in trust, meaning the houses do not belong to them. We also have a Hansard extract of 1960, which is clear. It was now repealing the powers that they had given the then city council, the power to collect rent now, and gave it back to the Central Housing Board to collect. And it is even clear that what they legalized at that time was only administrative arrangements that the city council and the Central Housing Board had. That is what was legalized in 1960, according to the Halsad reports that we have. We have also a Kenya Gazette. Yes, Senator.
Sorry, Chair. We're just discussing here among ourselves, and we appreciate the presentation by Maringo, but quite clearly the issues that are coming up are issues that actually should have come up during public participation. We cannot allege to conduct public participation here. That would not be possible. Chair, what we would want the Maringo representatives to do is perhaps point to the issues that the governor he has made a presentation. What issues do they agree with? Which issues don't they agree with? So that, as we say, Chair, today we must bank something. We can't have this conversation over and over and over again.
Yes, Senator Sifuna.
Chair, allow me to guide the residents, because I know the level of anxiety that these issues arouse. You guide us about the nature of these public participation forums. There was a notice here, and there was supposed to be a public participation on 25th May 2023 at St. Patrick's. Were you there? Were you present?
Yes, we were there.
Were you allowed to say these things that you are saying here now?
These people are only on that day, St. Patrick's, the estate officer came with a document. He read that document, did not share it with anybody, and they just walked out.
So he never allowed you to make this presentation you are making?
No.
Okay, that is the information that is important to the Senate. Now, other than this meeting at St. Patrick's on the 25th of May 2023, has there been any other meeting between you and the county government?
Yes,
in terms of public participation.
We met again on let me just a minute.
You gave us a date here of 2024, 6th March 2024. Oh, that was a letter. There was a meeting of.
There is one of 5th August 2023, and another one on 2nd February 2024.
Those are meetings of public participation.
Purported public participations.
Were you present in those meetings?
Yeah, I was present.
Did the county leadership allow you to make that presentation that you are making now?
No, we have never been allowed to make that presentation. And I started by saying that we were written to the governor, and he has not even had the courtesy of responding to the same.
Okay, that is clear, Chair. I think we can move, unless there is any other issue.
I've been very lenient. You have actually taken about 17 minutes.
Thank you.
Yes, but I was giving time because I like classifying sometimes some of these themes that come out. So I think that the theme that I was getting is, one, a miscommunication between you and the governor, where there is no, maybe some exchange communication, which I think that the governor will respond to at the right time. But then there's also the issue of the legality of the project. And the one that perhaps actually caught my eye was the issue of a requirement to have the county assembly certify this kind of project, which I think, again, governor will talk about, or rather respond to. So in that presentation, I have actually gotten two of those issues. Lack of that communication between you and the governor, which I think should be there, because it's a stakeholders engagement. That's the way governor would have conversation between the county and developers. There should be conversation between you as residents and the governor. But then the issue of legality, senators, I think that the issue of this county assembly engagement perhaps something that the governor can respond to at some point. So just governor, just take note. You know, your governor was a senator here, and during his time here, I used to follow him so much. He was also the chair of, was it at that time? No, there was a coalition. Sorry? When you're MP, isn't it? Yes, yes. He was sharing the coalition and equal opportunity. So I would wish that there is equal opportunity in this conversation, both in terms of communication and even further into the substantive allotment that we talk about. So those two issues, Governor, just note them. Those are the ones I've highlighted. I will go to Lumumba very fast, but please, I am not in the habit of saying it is time, cut, because that's not the fashion here. But I wanted to go to Lumumba, and then I'll go to the Jericho Fafa. Lumumba?
Chair.
Yes, Senator?
Chair, I think if you want us to move very fast, what you need to do is to guide our guests on what the governor has said. If they are objecting to what he has said, what point? They must point out which point they are not agreeing with, which one they are agreeing with, so that we can move forward very fast.
Fair enough.
On one issue, Bonacha, our friend said that the issue of land or those properties belongs to who and who. The property belongs to the people of Kenya. And that is what he should note. From there now, we can keep on moving very fast. Please guide us.
No, that's guided. That's guided. I think you've taken note from what actually Senator Sifuna emphasized that. All the senators have emphasized that. Let us, for the purpose of moving forward, the governor has done a presentation. The clerk did capture all the conversations that we have had in the past, which was what I call a status report. Let us try and interrogate those ones. Which ones do you feel satisfied about? Which one do you feel you agree with? What should we take note of as senators in terms of those presentations? So Lumumba.
Governor and fellow.
By the way, just a moment, Chair. You know, I like simplifying conversations such as this because we dealt with the issues in Mombasa, and it was very complex sometimes for even the petitioners to say just what do you want. I think that this is an opportunity also for you to simplify it for us as senators, as well as the governor. This is what we want, because that's a harder way of actually be able to make sure that as senators you can be able to converge with you and the governor on this issue. Is that okay? Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, Chair, Your Excellency the Governor, and Honorable Senators. My name is Agesa Omega. I'm standing in for our Chair, Walter Ogodi. Most has been said by my colleague from Maringo. I'm saying not my colleague, my fellow owner from Maringo. Owner. Why do I say owner? Not tenant. Owner.
Chair, can you restrain the governor from
Governor, stop intimidating,
threatening the witness?
No, but I've never seen.
Governor, you only speak to the chair.
Yeah, next week has a problem.
Tafadhali.
But I'd like him to tell us how owners paid it. Because they pay us rent.
No, we can. You have your time.
Why do I say owner?
You are protected, sir.
Let me clarify to him. In his presentation, there are some things he was trying to evade. He gave not the whole history of the land.
And my friend Agesa.
Yes.
Here you only speak to the chair, you only look at the chair, you only point at the chair.
I'm sorry.
Chair, please. You know these matters are fairly emotive. Eh? And if there is need for physical separation of the governor from the witness, it will help us so that he is free to express himself. I have known governor not to be a violent person.
I guess proceed.
I am now concerned.
Why do I say owner? The governor has been very evasive. Evasive in which ways? He gave just a brief talk when it came to the history. He never mentioned anywhere the things which the last Senate asked him to produce.
And if he could have produced all those, he could have known we are the owners. What I'll give, the governor came and also admitted the county had not gotten a contractor. We are not dealing with Governor Sakaja. We are not dealing with General Badi. We are dealing with Nairobi County government and the NMS, because NMS was a legal entity. So let's start it from the NMS. Our first engagement with the NMS was, and that's the question we asked, how about when NMS leaves the office? The officials by that time responded by saying, Justice Helen Wasilwa ruled it very clearly. NMS is a legal entity. So let's start it from where NMS started this project. In February 15, they called us. We have a meeting with them, which we responded to the call.
Which year?
February 15, 2021.
2021, okay.
We responded to the call, and they required us to do some things, which was registering of resident associations, which we did. The first meeting with the county government stroke NMS was in July 1st of 2021. And there are some things we discussed. They told us of the goodies of the project, but we had to drag them back because we are victims of historical injustice. Why do I say victims of historical injustice? Our parents, when they got these houses, when they were located, there were documents, and even as my other co-owner has stated, the sessional paper of 1959, sessional paper number 3 of 1959, it stated very clearly, the rent, the loan which had come from the Colonial Development Fund to the Central Housing Board will be repaid through rent structure. Through rent what? Structure in the document. We came to independence, and they can even admit it in one of their documents. The first estate to be constructed, to be built by the Nairobi County government, was Uhuru Estate. Uhuru what? Uhuru Estate. Why is Block 51 unique? Because it sits on one piece of land, Maringo, Ofafa, and Lumumba. And in that one piece of land, you realize that's where the whole issue is. No title deed. The other time he told that county, he told the Senate committee last year March, we were preserving the lands. That was not the role of the county government. It's the role of the National Lands Commission, not the county government. Why did they come in 2021? Because that was the expiry of the duration. They are waiting for the expiry of the duration of the historical injustice. That's when they came and ambushed us. Our parents have gone to the graves crying fall of what the county government did to them. How did they play the fall? They took the first cards, which had a lot of things. Now they gave us the cards, which now had the social housing thing. When they gave us those cards, when our parents went to ask in 1988, they asked the councillor by then, Sami Mbogwa, tunataka nyumba zetu. The only thing they could tell us is, wapi imeandikwa hiyo? Knowing very well when they had come from the village, they never knew anything related with the law and housing. The governor, each and every time they ambush us, through SMS, unlike before, when they advertise one, two, three things in the media. I'm talking of the print media. We have the copies of the print medias with us. When we had the first engagement with them, that's why I say we cannot trust them. They keep on shifting goalposts. We agreed all what had been discussed, which we presented to the Senate committee last year, for them to avail. After availing, we agree on certain issues, which they said, kama iko hivyo, kama ni ukweli, we shall honor it. We agreed their secretary, and our secretary, they meet, they synchronize the minutes, it become one document, not a public participation, a document for the minutes. From that time, they have been taking us in circles, ambushing us with things which are not there. Only for the March 2022, we were invited to go to the NMS offices, NMS/NTCG offices at KICC. Because we kept on asking them, if you can't honor these minutes, how will you honor the agreement? They came with a shambolic document. They said, now here it is, you people start signing now, this is the document. We refused to sign the document because what it contained was not what we agreed with them. Some of the things we agreed was, they come with the title deed of the land, Block 51. They come with the design of the houses and everything. And then before that, when they had even started the process, they told us to register. They engaged us first in July 1st, 2021. And yet, if you check on the document, the expression of interest was advertised in January 2021. And as per the Constitution says, public participation, we have to be engaged. They never did that. They said whenever they'll be coming on the ground, they will be accompanied by any member of the resident association, which never took place. And one of the person who contravened those things is in the house with us, from the county government side. He used to come akijificha the way the Maringo chairman has said. They could even come with cameras in some double cabin vehicles, on a piga picha, kidogo. We don't know what they are doing. When they see the residents, they run away. So we wondered, is this an open project? If you check on the EOI, and if you check on
what is the name of the person?
Kemboi is in this room. We have even the video.
Who is Kemboi? I want you to be explicit.
Yeah, Kemboi
works with the.
He's the chief housing officer.
Yeah, just.
The chief housing officer, Mr. Kemboi.
Okay, yeah. That's continue.
Yes. They continue doing all that.
Just point of order. What video do you have? You said you had a video of him running away or what?
Doing some surveying of the land at the AB zone.
Okay, proceed.
Yes. Even as the governor says, they're in touch with the people. We do pay rents. Do they maintain the houses? Ask them which was the last time they maintained those houses. We have just become a milking cow. I think I will stop with that leave for my chairman Mugonda because of time.
Okay.
Just one question, Chair, to Mr. Gesa.
Go ahead, Senator.
Mr. Gesa, we have a report here from the county government on this public participation. They say there's an exercise at Lumumba Social Hall on the 25th of May 2023. Were you present at that exercise?
I was present. And when
did you get opportunity to say the things that you are telling the Senate today?
We were present. Our main role was just to listen to what they've come to tell us.
So you didn't tell them any of these things?
They said, no, tumambua tu tuwasomei karatasi, tulipouliza, wakatuelezea, ati hii karatasi, tumambua tusipatie mtu. That was the estate officer.
Okay.
Estate officer Lumumba.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chair, another supplementary. Chair, with what Mr. Agesa has just said, what then, as per your own question, Chair, is the ask from him representing Lumumba?
Yes.
Go ahead.
What we expect from the county government is for them to come and hold a public participation. We discussed some of the things we are raising here. one of them being the ownership of the land. Immediately settle the issue of the ownership of the land, that's when we shall now discuss about the project.
Okay, I guess as I said, I like concretizing what I'm trying to get into the theme, and that's why actually, if you had about substantive questions, the 4 of them, now they are coming out, Governor. I'd ask about the question of successive tenancies, which was basically substantially the issue of, is there an ownership problem or this? But for you particularly, I guess, you have referred to session paper number 3.
Yes.
Which was a contract of finance proposals.
Yes.
For the Nairobi African Housing Project.
Yes.
Are you telling this committee that in your humble view, or rather your understanding, that session paper was a contractual agreement that the tenancy payments you were making were towards ownership?
Yes.
I want that to be very clear so that
yes.
it's a substantive issue, Senator, so that you take it note. That is your understanding as residents?
That is my understanding.
Yes.
Adding unto what, I was not born in Pumwa, I was born in...
Yes, so you and that's why I was talking about succession, because you brought the issue of your parents,
yes,
who might have been privy to this understanding, and that's why you have filed that contractual paper with us.
Yes.
Is that the understanding?
Yes.
Senators, I want to take note of that.
That's okay, Chair. So
yes.
Then the only thing that then we would ask is that we conclude these things.
Sure, Senator.
So have you tabled that agreement that says that you're paying this rent towards ownership of the house? That's
yes.
one.
Yes.
And secondly, so what are the residents of Lumumba claiming? Are they claiming the land and the houses, or just the land and not the house? What do you own there? Is it the land and the house, or just the land?
The residents of Lumumba, first and foremost, they are claiming the land. That is number one. And then secondly, when it comes to the issue of houses, it's a matter of discussion amongst the residents.
Chair, I want to finally just let him clarify whether this dispute, a dispute about ownership of land, there's places you can take those disputes.
Yes.
I don't think that sitting with the county governor, you cannot discuss and agree who owns what.
Yes.
So which institutions are handling that dispute about the ownership of Lumumba and Maringo and Jericho?
Yes. What we did, we had to go apply to the National Lands Commission. We had to give our place. Then Commissioner Fatma had to release a team to come on the ground. A team of surveyors. Fatma herself, the surveyor was by the name of Paddy. They came on the ground. They did the survey they started with Maringo, then they came to Lumumba, then they went to Ofafa. And they said they are doing that pegging because in their records, this land does not have any owner. That's why it doesn't have an LR number.
So your position, or what you're telling this committee, is that this dispute is before the National Lands Commission on ownership, not the size or whether who has the title. Who owns this land is a question before the Land Commission, the National Land Commission.
Yes, it's before the Land Commission. And when we did a follow-up, we had to do a follow-up, the National Lands Commission.
Use the mic, please.
We had to do a follow-up, the National Lands Commission. Then after doing a follow-up, sometime back, it was last year, we were summoned by Commissioner Fatma. She told us, we have realized the Nairobi, that is immediately the governor had just come from the Senate committee, this committee of roads and housing. She told us, we have realized the county government has got the title deed. What we asked her was, how comes they have a title deed and the governor admitted before the Senate committee on roads and housing in front of all media cameras, the county government does not have a title deed? Now, where have they gotten it from?
Now, these documents have come from you, right?
Yes.
There's a letter here inviting you to a hearing before the National Lands Commission on 30th of April.
Yes.
You are aware of this?
Yeah, they ambushed us over the weekend. And
what do you mean by... how much time do you need? Because you seem to be very knowledgeable about the history of this matter. Even if I woke you up in the middle of the night to appear before this committee, you're telling how much time do you need? Because we can also help you.
No.
This letter is dated 23rd of April, and they are calling for a meeting on 30th of April, which is a 7-day notice.
In fact, we had a meeting yesterday evening, all the 3 estates, discussing about that letter. Why are we not in agreement with the letter? The letter came through someone who was just a coordinator, and he left the association a long time ago. We have been writing to the National Lands Commission directly as Lumumba Resident Association.
So you're saying you will not attend this hearing?
I'm still answering your question, Senator.
No, you know, I guess we need to make some progress.
Yes.
Let's make progress.
Yes.
And I want you to be very honest with us, because we have been more than honest with you.
Yes.
As a senator, you know how much we have dwelt on this matter.
Yes.
Chair, as a senator of Nairobi, one of the frustrations I have, and I have to express this because I've said it to Chairman Mgonda, I've said it to Sam, is that there appears to be a hesitation from you to resolve this question. That whenever there is opportunity for that conversation to happen, you look for excuses for that conversation not to happen. Chairman, if the National Land Commission has invited you, and you have rightly said they are the ones who should be able to resolve this question, even if they call you today or tomorrow, honestly speaking, what is wrong with appearing before the National Lands Commission?
What we have no objection, but
you are saying it should come through you. The invitation should come through you.
No, I'll give you the reason why we are still discussing of it. The letter, we received it on Saturday in the evening, not a working day. And it never came through the official channel. It came through someone.
Senator Wambua.
Please, Chairman, you are representing the chairman. Please let's make progress on this matter.
Yes.
Are you disputing the contents of this letter?
We are not disputing. We can avail ourselves anytime.
Are you disputing the contents of this letter?
We are not disputing.
You are not disputing.
We are not disputing.
Then if you are disputing, what is the problem?
We will appear.
And the problem is how it came to you. I mean, really, surely. This is a serious matter.
Yes.
Please,
We'll
let's make progress on this matter, Chair.
Yes, we will appear before it.
Chair.
Senator Chute.
Yes, I want to ask Chair a specific question. Question number 1. All these years, our friends have been paying some kind of a rent. I want to know, they were paying to who? Number 1. Number 2, the governor has just said that he's giving houses to the former tenants. What is his take on this? Is he agreeing to it or not?
We don't refuse.
Chair.
But one thing, we are not trusting the Nairobi County government. They don't honor their promises.
The first question is, you've been paying rent. You've been paying to who? Which institution?
Nairobi County government.
So now you are telling us...
You know, Chair, I just want
guess,
to... Chair, just let me make this point.
Please, go ahead, Senator.
That I would very much want. You know,
Yes.
one of the things you have not told the Chair is that this dispute arose in the 80s. I think it's 1987. Your senator was 5 years. Senator Eddie, who is chairing, I don't think he was born yet. We want to resolve this question once and for all.
Yes.
Before I leave this Senate,
Yes.
I want to be able to have resolved this. And I'm sure there is a commitment on the part of the county government also to make sure that there is finality.
Yes.
And because this is a house of records, the governor has said certain things, and I'll want him to say themselves regarding that question of ownership. But what I wanted to request, these are constitutional bodies that are mandated to settle these disputes.
Yes.
Disputes regarding land ownership, you have rightly identified to be the National Land Commission.
Yes.
I want to make a request, a very passionate request to you, that just the way you have been cooperating with this committee, whenever we call you, I don't hear you complaining about notice, about who has brought the letter. I send text messages to you directly, all of you here.
Yes.
Just appear and make your case, because Chair, sometimes I get so frustrated. And Chairman, I want you to address this because I've spoken to you directly. It doesn't matter what somebody calls a meeting. If you call Sifuna into a meeting and I know that I don't agree with certain positions, it doesn't matter what you call it. I will go there and say what I want to say. That is why you saw me asking the chair from Maringo whether they were present in these meetings and whether they were allowed to say the things they are telling us now. How is it that the Senate is the only environment where you people can say these things? Do you want, as the Senate, this Senate, do you want us to transform ourselves into the National Land Commission, into the courts, into the Nairobi County government, so that you can have honest conversations?
Yes.
Do you want this chair? Because when Senator Crystal was asking you, what do you want us to do so that we can resolve this crisis? Do you want this committee to be present physically in your meetings with the county government, or what is it that you want so that we can resolve this question?
We'll appear before the National Lands Commission.
Chair,
Yes.
I'm listening.
Yes.
There is no way. There's something called reality check.
Yes.
Where you find yourself now,
Yes.
there is no way you avoid the Nairobi County government.
Yes.
It's not possible.
Yes.
And I empathize. I've been talking about this both at the level of government, national and county government, that constantly we see a loss of trust with the government in both sides. It's an unfortunate situation, where the population loses trust for whichever reason. And I don't want to get into the transactions that have been between you and the county government, whether it's right or wrong. But for whichever reason, we constantly have a population that is constantly losing trust with the county government and sometimes also with the national government. It's an unfortunate state of affairs because it is the Nairobi government that is transactioning, in this case, with the developers.
Yes.
And the reason why I ask you about session paper number 3 is because you are also agreeing that there was, whether it is substantively understood so, or whether it is a misguided understanding, there is some understanding that the payments that were happening in the tenancy agreements were towards the ownership of the land of some sort.
Yes.
The governor has equally been very clear, and if I quote you wrong, Governor, you can correct me on your responses, that once these developments are done, the residents will be given the houses for free. And they say that that free is not an issue of being free because you had been paying rent over time and you've been members of this estate for over time.
Yes.
So there is an understanding there that we're not appreciating.
Yes.
So what I want to request you, because I've read the letter that Senator Sifuna has referred to here, what I want to request you first of all is to make sure that you engage with the county government. Number 2, make sure that you engage with the National Land Commission. And perhaps do us a favor to update us on what that conversation has been. Because while the Senator of Nairobi says that we cannot transform ourselves into National Land Commission and the courts, we also, because we work for the people, you sent us to these houses. Senator Sifuna is your representative. He talks on behalf of you. He has got no interest talking on behalf of the government of Nairobi, unless he's talking about issues of RMLF and how we get money to the government of Nairobi. You represent them. We actually have the convening power to actually facilitate a conversation between you and National Land Commission if it's an adversarial one. But the first thing, you must show goodwill and go to those meetings. If it becomes difficult, I can assure you that this Senate is committed to get this issue done. We can be able to invite the National Land Commission, invite you, and invite the county government in a multi-stakeholder conversation. But first of all, we need, I don't know whether to say is to restore that trust, because we can't. But we need that engagement to continue.
Yes, we will.
So please listen to Senator Sifuna and engage with the National Land Commission, appear there, say what you need to say, be firm, update the Senate.
Yes.
Is that a good place to finish your presentation? I can go to the next.
I agree with it.
Thank you.
In total.
Can I go to Jericho Fafa?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. Again, my name is John Mgoda. I am the chairman of Ofafa Jericho Residents Association. Chair, there is a danger of a driver arriving at his destination without passengers. I say this, and I would like to avoid emotions. We have had an extremely difficult moment dealing with the county government. And as an alternative, that is why we find ourselves in this honorable Senate. Difficulties in the sense, I have had public participation meetings being referred to many times. I've been before this Senate. Chair, in Ofafa Jericho, we are still in ground zero. Ground zero for the reason that the meeting of 12th February 2021, which was held just before the Lumumba one, was at the height of COVID. It was held at the Jericho Hall at the height of COVID. But what was the essence of that meeting? First, to form associations that will act as a bridge between the people of Jericho and the county government. Thereafter, any other meeting that has been held was without the public. It was only the committee that meant the principal officers of the county government. And guess what? Anytime they came to those meetings, notices which I have here don't read like invitations for public meetings, public participation meetings. All they stated is, we are coming to update you on the progress. And hang on, when were we ever involved? These are the first days that from 2019 COVID time, 2021 we start meetings. You're telling us to form associations, meet your people for public participation, but they don't come in public participation. Somebody has been mentioned here from the county government, Mr. Kiboi, will stand with me as a witness against his own employer. They never used to come to us with seeking our views, even as their own public participation guidelines say.
Just a moment, John. I don't mean to interfere with your thought process. I like the way you are presenting, but you've mentioned something here that also I think I guess I also mentioned. The meeting that was held in February 2021 that perhaps encouraged the residents to have associations, form these associations to engage with the county government. And of course, it was facilitated by NMS. Is that true?
Yes, Chair.
The two of you, may you just help me understand, was the association formed particularly in anticipation of this renewal and regeneration project?
Correct.
And at that time, were you amenable to it? As in, did you accept the idea of that renewal and regeneration of the estates?
No.
You did not?
No.
Agesa? You did not accept it? Okay, so, sorry? Put yourself on record.
We did not accept it because if you could check on their document, and you check on the one which had for the 1959, there were similar documents.
Okay.
And one was never honored.
Okay.
So we never trusted them to honor this one.
Okay. I just wanted to make that so that we can move together, because
Chair.
that question, I'm going to give you Senator Wambua, but that question, I want to just be clear that the association are not being formed for general engagement with the county, but specifically on this particular project. So that as you present, yes, that is very clear to us.
Yes.
But Senator, I'm going to give you 1 minute, but I want him to continue. I don't want to interfere with this thought process. I just wanted that clarification. But Senator,
just following up on what you're asking, Chair.
Please, yes, please go ahead.
Then the chairs are saying that they were asked to form associations to engage with the county government, right? And you formed those associations. So what are you opposed to?
Now, after forming those associations, we expected the only good thing they would have done, noble thing, is anytime they wanted to meet the residents, they would come through us, and that was the intention. We would create an atmosphere, maybe arrange meetings and stuff like that, so that when they come to the ground, we will have been involved.
So, because again, the conclusions, no, Senator, you've asked a very good question. You're not opposed to the project, at least at a conceptual level, because I think the commission went through. You are not opposed to the project. What is becoming a point of constraint is that the county government is not engaging the associations and the leadership of the association as you had formed them.
They are not engaging us.
They're not engaging the association. Everything you're saying here is what the government must respond to, and we must get to conclusion. So there's issue of not engaging the associations and the association's leadership. Do I get that as an issue?
Both the associations and the subjects.
Okay.
So Chair, just let him continue.
So continue.
Chair,
Yes, continue.
point of order. Chair.
Yes, Senator Asige.
Thank you, Chair. Is it in order, Chair, for us to continue without our member being able to go on record? Because she has walked in and she has tried to catch your eye. But, Chair,
sorry,
you are not allowing your eye to be caught.
No, my eye was caught by the residents. I apologize about that. I was so focused on this other side. Senator Tobiko, please put yourself on record. I'm sorry about that.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Senator Asige. Chair, my name is Paris Tobiko, member of this committee.
So much, Senator. Sorry, I was so engaged on this side. I didn't notice you coming, but thank you so much for coming to the meeting. So please, John, continue.
Well,
I'll add you
after the formation of those associations, which definitely were the vehicle to approach these discussions, what followed later was strictly a meeting with the association, or rather the committee members. So we met for about 3 times. But in these 3 meetings we met with the chief officers. In one major meeting, we agreed on certain things. If you allow me to mention, including the name of the officer, Madam Marion, who was there then, she said, after lengthy discussion, she is the one who coined the word renovation. So you people don't want the regeneration project. What you want is renovation. In that case, then, I'll give you 10 days within which you should send in your views about renovation. And she agreed to the fact that there was no demolition that was going to happen, because that was what was going on. And by the way, the threatening language that was used to us, we begin in August to evict you people, August of 2021, when the project was still very young. So in those meetings, at one time, we agreed the minutes of 29th June 2021 should be synchronized, harmonized with those of the county government, so that we can agree to sign one set of minutes. We sent the minutes at first. They were never received. They said they don't have an office. We sent a set of minutes again to City Hall. And when we discovered that they are dodging us, what we did is we used the courier. We used Wells Fargo, and we used the G4S to deliver those draft minutes. To date, and they are in some of the files that we have given the members of this committee, we gave members of the committee for their ease of reference. Those minutes have never been signed to date. Now, regarding Jericho in particular, the meeting that was held all over the 13 estates on 25th of May, we held that meeting. Only the county, the estate officer did a speech. We did not allow any of the members of the county government to speak. Why? Because they are going to treat this as a public participation meeting, and we have documented it even before it happened and even after it happened. And in that meeting, we told them, you always come to us to rubber stamp what you have already done in the background. Rubber stamping what? This book, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, is not our product. It is the product of the NMS, and the county government's logo is there. We did not produce this document, and therein lies a lot of information which they themselves have captured. Now, when they failed to sign these minutes, and when that meeting of public participation was called, and we drew their attention to this book, it did not augur well with the residents. And by the way, what happened, there was an altercation, and the officers went to seek refuge in the ward admin's office within Jericho Social Hall. I must mention here that by 12:30, that meeting was in disarray. But we reached out to our Honorable Senator Sifuna, and he stopped what he was doing. He came all the way up to Jericho Hall. And after that, when we explained our case, that is when he realized the grave concerns that we had and arranged for us to come to Senate. We could only seek refuge in the Senate. Why? Even now I've heard you say, Chair, that you will make arrangements for us to meet the governor. I have only met my governor since elections twice, today and last time.
Chair, point of order. Point of order.
Governor, you'll have your time.
No.
Don't.
That's why it's a point of order.
Chair. You're not allowed to have a point of order because you're not a member of this house.
I'm a member.
You are a member, but I will make sure. I will make sure. Governor, Governor.
It costs you nothing to hear me.
Governor, just a moment. Let him just finish.
Chair,
once he finishes, I'm gonna make sure that I give you a right of response.
Of course, I'm responding to everything that has been said.
But
you don't know what I want to ask.
No. The reason I'm saying this is because when he's presenting, I want him just to finish his presentation. Then I come to you. I'm going to give you a chance to be able to ask. Can you just finish your presentation, John? Because you've got only about 2 minutes to finish.
I will
allow him to speak. Allow him to speak, please, Chair.
John, go ahead.
And therefore, our views, which we are presenting to you today, and which have been captured in those files in quite some detailed documentation, is that, as Senator Sifuna stated, that there seems to be something here that we either need this to be resolved or not to be. We need it to be resolved like yesterday. But the problem has been, right from the word go, we offered ourselves to come to public participation meetings, which were never meaningful. And secondly, because you cannot be heard, then the only alternative you have is to seek for alternative institutions that can help you. And that is why we have gone to NLC, because of the land. We believe we own this land, legally so. And we still also understand we legally own these houses as our houses, because they were rent to own a house, as you have already been explained in those documents that you have been given, and as already explained by my Maringo counterpart. Chair, we were going to seek...
You have one more minute.
We were going to seek your indulgence here, that you engage NLC and engage the county government to please hear us out. We are still in square one. We still believe the residents said no to this project. Proper consultations have never been made, and the law has been broken left, right, and center. We live in fear in our estates. Thank you, Chair.
Governor, I wanted to give you a chance to perhaps raise your concern.
Chair, I think next time we have such an engagement, everyone should be on oath. Because there's a lot of disingenuity. Chair, I will share with you a letter, because he says he's met me once or twice, and that they seek audience and they're not getting audience. We invited them for a meeting with me on the 7th of April, 2025. They came and stopped residents from attending the meeting at Charter Hall. Why is he not saying that? You cannot come to the table of equity without, you must have clean hands. So when you call you for the meeting and you come with placards and you threaten others who are registering from attending the meeting, are we really being honest, Chair?
Chair, I think that is why Governor, I think the guidance of the Chair initially was the correct one, that you allow these people to express themselves. These matters are a motive for everyone. Then during your response, you can even table those problems, because me personally, and I will say this because me, I don't fear anybody here. I have raised this concern and I've repeated it here, that our chairs appear to be afraid to go to certain meetings because they think, and Governor, you can understand, because one of the issues, Chair, is that...
Your chairs means chairs of the association.
Yes, these chairs.
Yes, yes, not the chairs of the committees.
One of the reasons is that the minutes of those meetings, and this is a matter that I have brought to the attention of the Governor himself, I've written to you myself, asking for minutes of his meeting. That is the fear of these county chairs. And it is our responsibility as a leadership to address those fears so that we can actually unlock this dispute. So, Chair, I think you had guided properly. Let the chairs finish. Let the chairs finish. I think we only have 2 more to go, and they have more to say. We have not even gotten to Woodley. Bado tujatoka Eastlands.
So I think you have got 2 more. Thank you, John, for your presentation. And Governor, just as I said, actually the way the meeting is going is actually the way it confirms that you're on trial. It's not the other way around where one must rebut the other. But I think that just take note. I'm going to give you sufficient time to respond to some of the concerns that are raised. Let me go to. Let me actually go to Woodley. Let me go to Woodley because I want to mix this. The gentleman, you're from Ofafa, right?
Yes.
Yes, yes. Ofafa has just been represented by the chair.
Yeah, but I want to ask before you go to Woodley, there's some information that you are lacking. Governor is lacking, Senator is lacking, but if it's known, then these discussions will be even more easier to solve.
How many minutes do you need to tell me the information?
2-3 minutes.
I'll give you 2.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone in the room. I have stayed in Maringo since 1962. I was 5 years old. We were the first alpha in Nairobi. Now we are moving out, leading to other alpha. What I want to say is this. 1974, His Excellency Mwai Kibaki, and I want Sifuna to help us on this. 1974, Mwai Kibaki, His Excellency, our late, he went to Parliament, passed about owning these houses, and it went first reading, it went second reading, then there was going to be an election. So Kibaki left, went to there, and those 2 readings are still in Parliament. Honorable Sifuna, can you go and look for these hazards? Because it is one of the documentary evidence, supportive documentary evidence in what we are doing and saying here. Secondly, yes. Secondly, about ownership. I don't know anywhere on this planet someone builds a house without a title, without showing documentary evidence of what you own, and the designs of those houses or whatever you want to build. So when governor says they own the houses, maybe we would like to see the designs that the county government had and the titles to show that they own the land. But they want to own the land in their minds and not following the constitution or any law they have passed. So, Honorable Sifuna, can you go please I've tried to get those documents, 1974, the hazard that they passed that we should own the houses. It remained only one reading to own.
I will help say Sifuna there very fast, and thank you for the contribution. I didn't even know that his former, His Excellency, the former president, was involved.
Yes.
But
1974.
Yes. Remind me of your name again.
Honorable Mwai Gakuya.
Yes, Mwai. I wanted to just share with you that in Parliament, when a member wants to pass law and they have brought that proposal in the House and it has gone through first and second reading, and one, it can collapse in those engagements. It can be passed or not passed by members.
It was passed, but
just let me guide you. Yes. But most importantly, if it wasn't made law, and in that session then it didn't go through, it lapses in that session. So it's very unfortunate. I wish that actually the late president followed this through and made it law. But because it wasn't made law, it would be difficult for Senator Sifuna to go and dig it because he died with that session.
Okay, can you advise me?
Chair, just switch off your mic, Mwai.
Yes, sir.
I want to commit to you. It is very easy to get parliamentary records. The Hansard is there, but what the chair is struggling to tell you is that a law only passes after that third stage. But as to the